Hey, Om Shanti. Good morning, everyone. So today let's revisit the Murli, which was done yesterday at Madhuban. So if you all want, anyone can share the screen or so the Murli revision was of the 31st of March 2010, and Baba was specifically focusing on how we children be worship worthy and have the remembrance of we being the ancestral soul as well. So this is very much important, not only because of the awareness of the affirmation, but also looking at things, what is having, what is being done around the world. It also helps us to resolve any conflicts of any swabhav sanskars with others, and also reminds us of our true occupation in this world. So very wonderful Murli, where Baba kept on reminding us of our stage. So let's read the main part of the Murli. I'm not sure if all of y'all got a chance to listen yesterday evening, but if not, I think today we can revise and just try to resonate what things we can inculcate in our lives, especially today. So the Murli heading is stay in the self respect of being an ancestor and a worship worthy soul, and sustain everyone with your mind and give sakaash to the whole world, whole tree. Today, BapDada is looking at all his souls everywhere who are the ancestors and worship worthy souls. You consider yourselves to be ancestor souls, do you not? Where do you worship worthy souls live? Bring your tree in front of you and look at where your place is in that. You know that the place of you ancestors is at the roots. You are in the roots of the tree and also in the trunk. So, the whole tree receives sustenance through the roots. You are the ancestors who sustain and give sakaash to all the branches, twigs, and leaves of the whole tree. Together with being ancestors, you are also worthy of worship. Even the last leaf receives sakaash through the trunk. Do you experience yourselves to be those who give sakaash to the whole tree? So again, this is whenever Baba asks any question, in other words, it also implies that in addition to checking for that day, for that moment, we can use that as a tool of our homework. So Baba has given a very beautiful picture of Kalpavriksha at the beginning, and we being in the roots or trunk, and give sakash to the entire tree, the branches, the leaf, the twigs. So he asks, do you experience yourselves to be those who give sakash to the whole tree? Do you have the intoxication of being the ancestors who give sakash to all souls, who are the branches, twigs, and leaves? Just as Father Brahma is said to be the great great grandfather, so you, the children, his companions, are also Master great great grandfather. Souls of the whole tree are attracted to you, ancestor souls. You, ancestor souls, sustain them with your powers. The Father sustained all of you, ancestor souls. How did he do that? With all the powers. Similarly, in terms of you being the ancestors, you are the ones who sustain them with the powers. Nowadays, you can see that all souls are unhappy. They are calling out to their own special deities. Come and protect us. Give us peace. Give us power. O ocean of forgiveness, ancestors, sustain us. Can you, ancestor souls, hear this sound in your ears? Do you have the experience of being the ancestors? Look at the whole tree. Because all the souls of the other religions are the branches and twigs of the tree, they too look at you with that vision. You are their ancestors, true. Whenever you meet souls of any religion, do you consider them to be the branches and twigs of your own tree? This is very interesting straight question. Whenever you meet souls of any religion, do you consider them to be the branches and twigs of your own tree? When they meet you, they consider you to belong to them. Those souls have the feeling of you belonging to them, and they should have that feeling. Okay, so unless we have that feeling of those souls belonging to us, to the same tree of which we are the roots or trunk, they will also have the similar feelings. Do you have that much intoxication and the feeling of mercy within you? They are crying out in distress. Have mercy. Rahm karo. So now, according to the time, all of you ancestor souls have to sustain them through the mind of through the mind with the powers. They need this now. To that extent that you maintain the intoxication of being an ancestors, to that extent those souls will be sustained by you. Generally in Lokic life too, one is sustained by one's elders. They are the ones who provide and make arrangements for food and drink for one's body and study, which is a source of income. Just as the Father has sustained all of you children with different powers, in the same way, it is your duty to sustain all the branches, twigs, and leaves of the whole tree. Do you ancestor souls have such enthusiasm? So, Baba is comparing his enthusiasm like he sustaining all of us. Do we have that similar enthusiasm of we sustaining the entire tree? Do you have the intoxication that you are also the worthy of worship souls? Now again, he has moved on from ancestors to worship worthy souls. Because in a way, even we worshipped Father. So, like the children of Father, we ourselves are also worship worthy. Pujyatma. Look within the whole drama. No great soul or founder of religion is worshipped with discipline in the same way as you souls are. Isn't it wonderful? Your worship is according to discipline, Vidhi Purvak. During your arti, it's a form of worship with deepaks on a plate and offering bhog. No one else is worshipped in this way. The way you are remembered and the way your praise is sung are also according to discipline. No one else is remembered in this way. So, as well as being ancestors, you are also worthy of worship. No one else in the whole drama is worshipped or remembered in the same way as you are. So, in this entire page, Baba is recalling our worship worthy and ancestral stage. No one else is like us. So, seeing you worship worthy and ancestral souls, BapDada is so pleased. The song is repeatedly being played in the father's heart. Wah, my ancestors of the whole tree and worship worthy souls. Wah. Nowadays, BapDada wants to see all of you children in the form of your self respect, of being equal to the Father, complete and perfect. For that, you children have to keep one thing in your attention. BapDada has seen that although all of you children are making very good effort, each one of you has to add the word Sada constantly in that effort. Hmm? So BapDada has often mentioned this Sada word in most of the Murlis, where according to him, it's not sometimes we should be doing good. It should be always. So the next paragraph Baba is dedicating for that Sada Shabd only. You have to pay attention to this. BapDada is asking you children, just as BapDada sees all of you children in the form of your elevated self respect, in the same way, do you also consider yourselves to be such elevated self respect? What do you say in response? We do stay in that stage. That is our aim. You even raise your hands. However, then slowly you say, it is sometimes. So Bapdada now wants you to finish the word sometimes because the time of completion is now coming close. And who is going to bring that close? Children ask the father, Baba, tell us the time of how long? How many more years remain? 20 years, 16 years, 10 years? The father then asks the children, who is going to bring the time close? Will the father will the father alone do that? The father carried out establishment. Did he not? Did he do that alone? He created the sacrificial fire. Did he do that without you Brahmins? The father is with the children. Children also say, Baba, we are with you now and we will return home with you. The father is telling you children, the ones who are going to bring the time close, you yourselves have to fix the date. Who is going to fix the date? The father or both? You and the father? Today is the last meeting of the season. Bab Dada saw that even the children now want to go to their kingdom. You continue to sing the song in your mind. We now have to return home. We now have to return home. We now have to make the return journey. For this, BapDada has also told you earlier, keep yourself busy in one or another service at all the time. Okay, so another technique Baba is telling us, keeping ourselves busy in one or another service all the time. BapDada has seen that all the children even now have the interest and the zeal and enthusiasm in service. BapDada hears very good service news. However, in order to you to move forward at a fast speed, BapDada is specially drawing the attention of you children. Do not serve just through words. When you are doing service, do these three types of service at the same time. Give sakaash through your mind, give knowledge with words, and in the deeds, that is, in connection with the relationships. So, what service Baba is asking us to do? Three service together, that is, giving sakaash through your mind, give knowledge with words, and in connection and relationship with the deeds. Do such service through your face that also creates an impact in service at the same time. Do three types of service at the same time because souls now want there to be some difference in service. That something should change. So, can you do three types of service at the same time? Can you do it? Do you check that even you are serving through words, service is also being service is also taking place through your mind and through your deeds? That is service taking place through your relationship and connection? Does it take place at the same time? Those who feel that they are doing all three types of service at the same time, raise your hands. You do all the three types of service? Acha. Very few in this list in the first row are raising your hands. Why? Are those in the first row still thinking? Do those from Madhuban do this? Those from Madhuban, raise your hands. If you do this, that is basically three types of service at the same time, then raise your hands. All three types of service at the same time. So now attention please. Not sometimes. What happens? You do service, but that should also be consistent within the self and with your companions, because the fruit of service is commitment and happiness. Another statement, the fruit of service is contentment and happiness. Therefore, check. You did service, but as you were told earlier, there is happiness in service when you yourselves, your companions, and the atmosphere are in the vibrations of contentment. You have been told of three things in particular for success in service. You must be remembering them. Firstly, service means the consciousness of being an instrument, that is Nimit Bhav. Secondly, feelings of humility, that is Bhavna. Thirdly, pure and sweet words, consciousness, that is Bhav, intentions. So let us revise what is this? Nimit, Bhavna, and Bhav, and Swabhav. So four things Baba is telling us. So these are the things we have to focus for having success in service. That is, service means consciousness of being an instrument, that is Nimit Bhav, feelings of humility, that is Bhavna. Thirdly, pure and sweet words, intentions Bhav, feelings Bhavna, and nature Swabhav. Bhav, Bhavna, and Swabhav. When there are these all together in service, then you yourselves will be content. Your companions will be content, and those whom you serve will also continue to receive to move forward. Those who have the consciousness of being an instrument will force their relationship with Father. If there isn't the consciousness of being an instrument, they won't come close to the Father. So, whenever you do service, check whether your intentions, feelings, and nature were accurate. Nowadays, BapDada has seen that the main thing is whenever each one of you goes for service, check whether your companions remained constant. Success in service is to receive the fruit of contentment and happiness. Together with this, BapDada going is giving a signal for one more thing. While walking and moving along, and while being in a gathering, there is always someone or other with you in the service. And so look at one another in the form of a soul. You do look at one another in the form of a soul. You practice that too. But when you look at the soul, do you look at the soul in the form of their original sanskars? Hmm. So Baba is asking us to look at each other as a soul. Hmm. But while we look at each other as soul, we should be seeing them as their original sanskars. So let me repeat these three questions again. Do you look at the soul in the form of the original sanskars, or do you see the mixed sanskars of the soul? You have passed in seeing others as souls, but with which sanskars do you see these souls? Do you come in connection with those souls with their original sanskars, or do the present sanskars also come in front of you? So the father says, from today, firstly look at anyone in the form of a soul, but look at that soul with the form of his original sanskars. Then all the things that sometimes happen among yourselves will not happen. At present, you look at the soul, but whatever the present sanskars of the soul are, they also come in front. Therefore, there is a gap in the perfect stage, and that there should be with one another. So look at the soul with his original sanskars, then this obstruction that comes in the gathering will finish. So let's read the last paragraph. This Brahman family is an elevated family. There is great praise of the family. You will not find this godly family again and again. You find this godly family only once in the whole cycle. Throughout the whole cycle, you will not find such a huge family. To know the speciality of the family and to move along with the family is also a huge subject. Hmm? Interesting one. You have been told earlier too that the foundation of this knowledge is faith, and that there are four things in this faith. The father, Dada is included in that. Then faith is the knowledge, faith in the drama, and faith in the family. So, faith in father, knowledge, drama, and family. You all those who have faith in the intellect, and so you become easy effort makers. Just as you have faith in BapDada, so is it essential to have faith in the family. What do you do when you are parking something, when you're packing something? You make it tight on all four sides. If you do not make it tight, then even one side it would rattle. In the same way, the father, the knowledge, and within that knowledge, the drama in particular, and the family. If all four things are not strong, there will be there will be obstacles. You will then have to pay attention to overcoming the obstacles. Therefore, recognition of the family love for the family to understand one another, these are absolutely essential. You are ancestors, you are worthy of worship, and so you have to put these things into yourselves and your companions. No matter what you are number one, number wise. However, the special task of the Brahman family is to give blessings and to receive blessings. Some children say, others get angry. How would they take blessings? They would not take blessings. They would get angry. BapDada says, okay, if because of their sanskars they are getting bad wishes and you wish to give them blessings, but because they are giving bad wishes, if that is the if they are giving bad wishes, who is the one who is taking them? Is it you or other person who is taking them? They are the ones who are giving and you are the one who is taking. So, why did you accept their bad wishes? If you if you look at soul in the form of their original sanskars, you will have mercy. Keep yourself safe. Do not accept their bad wishes because you are the one who takes. Do not give and do not take those. BapDada is now giving you homework for today and for the time until BapDada comes next. Let us see what the homework is. Whenever you look at another soul in the form of a soul, do not look at the soul in the form of the present sanskars. When you say soul, then look at the soul in the form of their original sanskars. When you come to relationship with the soul or look at the soul, then look at the soul with that vision. Then these obstacles that come which do not allow your effort to become intense will not come. If you change your attitude and vision now, then the situations will all vanish. Whatever situations you see of souls, BapDada has told you earlier too, it is also constant duty of each one of you in the Brahman family to give good wishes and pure feelings and also to take good wishes and pure feelings. Look at the souls with those sanskars and move along in that way. BapDada is telling you one more thing. You have been told earlier too. Sometimes in a gathering you become attached to pardarshan, that is looking at others, parchintan, that is thinking about others, and parmat, that is following the dictates of others. Now, Cut out these three purs and keep one pur, and that is par upkar, to uplift others. You have to uplift others. You are those who uplift others. The nature of Brahmins is to uplift others. Do not look at others. Cut out that pur, that is the wings. All of you, all of those three cause a loss. This is why you must always remember your self respect. The self respect of myself, the Brahmin soul, is to uplift others. In the next season, BapDada wants to see this transformation in each one of you children. Is this possible? Is this possible? Raise your hands. You are all doing good in raising your hands. So what are you going to do? It is good. BapDada is giving congratulations. Continue to draw the attention of one another. What are you going to do every night before going to sleep? Before saying good night to BapDada, give Baba your whole chart of whether you did anything good or bad. Give your chart of whatever you did. Empty your intellect and then say good night. Say good night to the Father and go to sleep in the remembrance of Father. You will then sleep very well. First, empty yourself. Do not keep anything in your intellect. When you give your whole chart to the Father, you will not need to go to the land of Dharmaraj. The Lord becomes pleased with the honest heart. So you have been given the homework. Firstly, you can do service while walking and moving around in your form of ancestral and being worship worthy. The father saw that daughter Janak, even though her health is not good, gives sakaash with her mind to serve the Karachi. Whoever may be instrument for that, but this one did it practically. Souls that received sakaash and they are moving forward with enthusiasm. So Bab Dada saw such a practical example, and so all of you can also see that. So I think let's pause here. It's already 5:33. Uh, the Murli is long, and Bab Dada later also met the Eastern Zone. That was a section from a different Murli, but I think we have enough for the day to churn. So let's pause for a minute, and then we can start sharing our thoughts. Okay, so we can all start sharing our insights and reflections from today's Murli one by one.
Shanti brother, morning.
Yes, Vinod
I
bhai.
think uh, Baba very well said that you write down all your good and bad, good things and bad things at night before going to bed and submit good night to Baba. You know, sometimes it was very difficult to write that the remembrance has not been good throughout the day. But today Baba says at least write whatever you have done and then submit it off. That gives a little more margin. I feel that to empty out and submit the chart to Baba. So it's a liberty. Yeah. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Yes, and I think with that, then even we'll get a good sleep because we have shared everything with Baba. Otherwise, we might feel guilty that I have not done such and such thing. So, yeah, sharing and then saying good night to Baba will give us some more sound sleep. It's a matter of experiment. If we have not been doing that, we can do that today night and let's explore how do we feel.
Okay. So, Baba emphasized us to look at one another, one another as soul, and Baba said that we are, past in seeing one another as soul, but we still looking at the mixed sanskars of theirs. So we have to look at the souls, with their original sanskars. So and we have to uplift them. So we being the ancestor souls, it's our responsibility. Just like in a family, the elder person will be responsible to look after the younger ones. So similarly, we being the ancestors are responsible for raising or uplifting the other souls, including the religious souls. So Baba mentioned that we shouldn't be looking at their mixed sanskars. So we should be looking at their original sanskar. So when we look at their original sanskar, we feel pity. We don't, we don't feel like fighting with them, or we don't feel like, arguing with them. So this is the point that I'm going to take back home to practice. Oh, Shanti. Okay.
Yeah, wonderful. And if you all have listened to uh, Suraj Bhai's class, so generally it so happens that if each of the Murlis these seasons you see, Suraj Bhai has taken different subjects again basis on that day's Murli, Avyakt Murli, because in Madhuban they get to know which Murli will be, replayed. So yesterday specifically, I think he gave different techniques of sakaash as an ancestral soul. How can we serve? And one thing he told, he often tells that whenever we see each soul, we can remind ourselves that ये देव कुल की महान आत्माएं हैं. And not only yesterday he told not only to the BKs but even to the others who are not BKs, we can emerge these uh, thoughts of these will be would be Dev Kul ke Mahat Atma. So that automatically changes our perception towards them. And if you all attended yesterday's morning Murli, even there Baba told that have the same thoughts for other souls, just like you have for yourself as being pure and Swacha and Shuddha Atma. So it's a very good practice, and once we start doing this, I think automatically the negative part of any other souls, we immediately stop seeing those and look others in the same way as we look ourselves. Shanti. Yes, Girjaban.
That's what is the knowledge, you know. See, actually, Baba says the knowledge is just three words. I'm a soul, my father's a soul, the whole, and the drama. But in the deeper knowledge, which is what I think really makes the knowledge rich, the concept of the soul's journey, and that death is not the end, and that we just leave one body, and also the kalpa tree or the tree of humanity, the cyclical nature of time, and that's that deeper knowledge when you go through, and then placing each one of us in particular areas of what we call it as responsibility, and the tracing my journey from where I am, where I was, and where I will be. I think this evolution of humanity, which is represented in the tree, is a beautiful concept. In fact, Baba has always said the tree, the cycle, and the ladder, the cycle especially, you should make it so big, and so that people will understand the whole knowledge. I'm always amazed, even though I go through the tree knowledge, I feel no, again, I have to go back to the seed to see how did the tree come and where is the tree and what is this concept of the tree. But today it's just two titles where Baba touches us, just two titles. How he first goes to the ancestors, how he says you are the root, you're the trunk. So if you even imagine in a tree, where are the branches and twigs and leaves here at the top? But Baba is saying, you're down. So we have to give. So when you're saying giving sakaash, an ascending form, taking and giving, going towards to the last leaf of the tree. So that means I am a very old soul. So I am an ancestor soul. I was there for a long time, even before the branches and twigs. So that is one kind of time thing Baba is throwing on us, that you are there for a long time because you are the roots. You're there with the seed. So that is one thing. So once when you give what we say, you sakaash to the trees, especially that one aspect which Baba has said, that you are the ancestors for the other religious souls. That really was a kind of a new sentence which I like. You are even their ancestor. Yeah, and those people, they feel that they belong to you. And do you have that kind of belonging, saying these religious souls of other religion are from my own tree? That concept also shows, that means, see, my responsibility. So because I'm giving sakaash now, later people remember me and worship me. So that's why there's such a deep connection between the realization of an ancestor soul, and because if I do the job of an ancestor soul well, then of course I will be worshipped in my memorials. Like even Baba, if you remember a few days back, he gave so many times of worship out of love, worship out of discipline, worship out of show, and worship out of fear. But whatever worship, Baba is saying, every Brahmin has got devotees, every Brahmin. Just see what our titles are. That the more the title, I feel more the responsibility. As you said, we have to keep giving sakaash, keep giving sakaash. I think it's a very knowledgeful aspect for me to understand the tree and my role and my ancestor and worthy of worship souls. I think it's so rich that you can keep sharing. Om Shanti.
Okay, thanks. Any last point anybody would like to share? Okay, so let's reflect for next 2 minutes on our takeaways from today's Murli. Let us go into the intoxication that I, the soul, am an ancestral soul, Purvajatma, onto which the entire tree of humanity is resting on. Each branch, each twig, each petal, up to the last leaf, is getting inspirations or is looking forward to me for their nourishment. Even if they could be of any other religion, but some way or the other, they are connected to me, the ancestral soul. So let me go with this feeling And today, whoever I meet, whoever I have a conversation, let me remind myself that I, the ancestral soul, is talking to another soul, and the other soul whom I'm talking is again not just a leaf or a petal, but even that soul is worship worthy. Let me have the same great feeling for the other soul. Let me be proud of being part of such a huge divine family. And just like as a tree is holding on to all the branches, twigs, and leaves together, I am part of this huge divine family, and I love each one, everyone, in the same way as my father loves me. I have respect for each one, just like as Baba has respect for me. Let me try to recall these thoughts as many times as possible throughout the day. And as these thoughts come to me, I get intoxicated. I get into a pleasant mood because I am Master Knowledgeful Soul. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day, all the ancestral souls and worship worthy souls. Om Shanti.